Do television evangelists do more than lay people? Do vampires get AIDS? Do vegetarians eat animal crackers? Do witches run spell checkers? Do you need a silencer if you are going to shoot a mime? Do you realize how many holes there could be if people would just take the time to take the dirt out of them? 9 what? After eating, do amphibians have to wait 1 hour before getting out of the water? After they make styrofoam, what do they ship it in? Are female moths called myths? Are part-time band leaders semiconductors? Are there a lot of virgins in the Virgin Islands? Do you think that, when they asked George Washington for ID, he just whipped out a quarter? Does a man eating shark eat women, too? Does an analyst have to be anal? Does killing time damage eternity? Does that screwdriver belong to Philip? Does the Little Mermaid wear an algebra? Why is a person who plays the piano called a pianist, but a person who drives a race car not called a racist? Why is a women's prison called a penal colony? Why is brassiere singular, and panties plural? Why is clear considered a color? Why is it called lipstick, if you can still move your lips? Why is it called tourist season, if we can't shoot at them? How does a thermos know whether a drink should be hot or cold? How does it work out that these people always die in alphabetical order? How does the guy who drives the snowplow get to work in the mornings? How is it possible to have a civil war? How is it possible to run out of space? How long is the long arm of the law? Why don't you ever see the headline, "Psychic wins lottery"? Why is abbreviated such a long word? Why is a boxing ring square? Why is a carrot more orange than an orange? Why is it considered necessary to nail down the lid of a coffin? Why is it that bullets ricochet off of Superman's chest, but he ducks when the gun is thrown at him?
How old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? If 7-Eleven is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, why are there locks on the doors? If a candle factory burns down, does everyone just stand around and sing happy birthday? If a fly has no wings, would you call him a walk? If a hen and a half can lay an egg and a half in a day and a half, how long would it take a monkey with a wooden leg to kick the seeds out of a dill pickle? If a jogger runs at the speed of sound, can he still hear iTunes? If a mime commits suicide, does he use a silencer?
Why do we say something is out of whack? What is a whack? Why do we sing, "Take me out to the ball game," when we are already there? Why do we wash bath towels? Aren't we clean when we use them? Why do wise guy and wise man mean entirely different things. Why do you need an appointment to see a psychic? Why is it that when you're driving, and looking for an address, you turn down the volume on the radio? If a pig is sold to the pawn shop, is it a ham hock? If a pizza place sells pizza by the slice, is there a guy in the back tossing a triangle in the air? If a pronoun is a word used in place of a noun, is a proverb a word used in place of a verb? If a tree falls in the forest, does the earth scream out in pain? If a turtle doesn't have a shell, is he homeless or naked? If a vegetarian eats vegetables, what does a humanitarian eat? If a word in the dictionary were misspelled, how would we know? Why do tourists go to the top of tall buildings, and then put money in telescopes, so they can see things on the ground in close-up? Why do we call them restrooms, when no one goes there to rest? Why do we have hot water heaters, when hot water doesn't need to be heated? Why do we need training bras? What can we teach them? Why do we put shirts in a suitcase, and put suits in a garment bag? Why do we say a pair of pants, when there is only one article of clothing involved? If work is so terrific, how come they have to pay you to do it? If you tied buttered toast to the back of a cat and dropped it from a height, what would happen? If you try to fail, and succeed, which have you done? If you're born again, do you have two belly buttons? If your car says Dodge on the front of it, do you really need a horn? If you're a kleptomaniac, is there something you can take for it? If you're in a vehicle going the speed of light, what happens when you turn on the headlights? Who was the first person to look at a cow and say, I think I'll squeeze these dangly things here, and drink whatever comes out? Who was the first person to see an egg come from a chicken's butt and think, I'll bet that would be good to eat? Whose cruel idea was it, for the word lisp to have ans in it? Why are all blackboards called that, when some of them are green? Why are America's parks administered by the Department of the Interior? Why are builders afraid to have a 13th floor, but book publishers aren't afraid to have a chapter 11? Why are hemorrhoids called hemorrhoids, instead of asteroids? Why are highways built so close to the ground? Why are raisins called raisins, if they are only dried grapes? Why not just call them dried grapes? Why are there interstate highways in Hawaii? Why are they called stands when they're made for sitting? Why are you expected to slow down in a speed zone?
Why is it you must wait until night to call it a day? Why is it that famous people are always born on holidays? Why isn't there mouse-flavored cat food? You can't have everything. Where would you put it? You know that little indestructible black box that is used on planes? Why can't they make the whole plane out of the same substance?
Why is lemon juice made with artificial flavor, and dishwashing liquid made with real lemons? Why is the alphabet in that order? Is it because of that song? Why is the time of day with the slowest traffic called rush hour? Why is your index finger the same size as your nostrils? Why isn't phonetic spelled the way it sounds? Why isn't there a special name for the tops of your feet? Why did kamikaze pilots wear helmets? Why didn't Noah swat those 2 mosquitoes? Why do ballet dancers dance on their toes? Why doesn't the company just hire taller dancers? Why do fat chance and slim chance mean the same thing? Why aren't there ever any guilty bystanders? Why do flammable and inflammable mean the same thing?
An artist asked a gallery owner if there had been any interest in her paintings that were on display. "Well, I have good news and bad news," the owner responded. "The good news is that a gentleman noticed your work and wondered if it would appreciate in value after your death. I told him it would and he bought all 10 of your paintings." "That's wonderful!" the artist exclaimed. "What's the bad news? The gentleman was your doctor?"
Why do mattresses have springs, if they aren't made for jumping on? Why do people always remember where they were, when someone famous was killed? Do they feel perhaps they'll need an alibi? Why do people go to the unemployment office, to find a job? Why do people tell you, when they are speechless? Why do pigs have curly tails? Why do the signs that say, "Slow children," have a picture of running children? Is tired old cliché 1? Is a castrated pig disgruntled? Is a halfback more valuable than a quarterback? Is a sleeping bull a bulldozer? Is a small pig called a hamlet? Is an oxymoron a really dumb bovine? Is drilling for oil boring? Why do they call Wednesday hump day, when most people get laid on the weekends? Why do they design cars to go so fast it's illegal? Why do they make scented toilet paper? Why do they put Braille .s on the keypad of the drive-up ATM? Why do they report power outages on TV? Why do toasters always have a setting that burns the toast to a horrible crisp, which no decent human being would eat? If Barbie is so popular, why do you have to buy all her friends? If bees live in an apiary, do apes live in a beehive? If blind people wear dark glasses, why don't deaf people wear earmuffs? If cats and dogs didn't have fur, would we still pet them? If corn can't hear, why does it have an ear? If corn oil is made from corn, what is baby oil made from?